welcome back. Acidicloop here. We're going to do a video today on the arranger and for vocal harmonizing as well, because I just don't see very many videos about it. So I want to learn how to do it myself, and this is for my reference and for y'all. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to use the arranger to record a song, and we're going to do a small portion of it. Not going to do the whole thing, but it's a gospel song called Mary, Don't You Know? I'm sorry, Mary, Don't You Weep. That's the other one was a Christmas song. And what I've done ahead of time, just to kind of go ahead and only focus on really the vocals and for the guitar stuff, because there's a lot of videos out that teach you just the basics of arranger. So what I've done is I've already done my drum track and my bass track right here. And how you would do that is on the regular play that you normally do with the scenes and such. I would play it where I would hold record like this, and then comes up to arrangement, and then I would hit the to arrangement, and I would start playing, and I would record the different parts that I want for what I already have tracked. Now, I don't have vocals, and I don't have guitar tracked on any of these clips, so that's what we're going to use the arranger for recording that kind of stuff, all right? So I've already done that and kind of got a little groove going here, so let me just kind of show you a little bit of what it sounds like. First of my song, what I want is I want to put a little guitar and just drums, and then on the second measure, I want to go ahead and do some bass, and that's where the bass comes in right there. So here you can hear a little bit of the drums. And that one's just a drum sample that I have, but I did some MIDI bass using the double bass in the Akai from the Fabric plugin, and the bass comes in. And this is where I want to do a little bit of maybe a little bit of singing. I'm not really sure what I want to do here. Yeah, I think I'll do maybe a verse there, and then right here I'll do probably a chorus, and then I'll do a verse, and then I'll do a chorus. So we'll show it doing it kind of that style, and then maybe another bar I'll do for a solo. So I think for today that's what we'll do. So let me go ahead and hit stop all, and then I'll hit stop here up on the top to stop the playhead. And what I've done also is I've set the screen mode that you see on this here. Well, I actually can't really see it here, but I hold in on knob, or I'm sorry, I hold in on the on the button knob, and then I hit screen right there. So for me, for my playhead right up here on the top, these correlate with what's on the screen, and I've got the playhead one right here, and that's the one I'm going to be using probably the most for this, because there's going to be a little trick that I learned for that. All right, so we got the bass and we got the drums tracked. I think, like I said, on the first one, we're going to do a guitar track, and then from there we'll go on. So this is why it's important to try to keep as many plugins or drum programs or key groups as you can, because when you want to start doing tracks and stuff, because you can't overdub an audio track, like right here where it says MIDI erase. I know you probably can't see that very well. It's pretty bright on the screen. But it says MIDI record erase. That means I can, if I turn that off, it'll overdub if I'm doing another part over the MIDI. So this bass one right here, I can add more to it if I turn that off. But you can't do that for audio tracks. It will just kind of, it don't work. It'll wipe it. So what I've done and how I've set this up is I actually have let me go back here to the mixer. So I actually have it set up where I have the drums on this one, which is an audio track, bass, which is a plugin, Fabric plugin, double bass. Then I have an audio track for live vocal, which is for the verses. Then I have another track here for guitar one, which would be kind of the rhythm guitar, I guess you could say. Not as loud as the lead one, so I'm going to have a little bit of a louder mix for the lead one. And then right there I've got the guitar two, which would be for a lead. And then live vocal, I've set for vocal harmonizing. So let's take a look here at the inputs. What I have in the back of my Akai is it's actually better if you were, because I'm using a guitar effects pedal. I'm using the G2100 from Boss. And it'd be better to to do both left and right into both left and right of the back of the Akai. It sounds a little bit better in my opinion. However, for this, to record the video, I actually have to have the mic available. So I have the mic in line 1, and I have the, or whatever the input is over here, the furthest one to the left. I think it's line 1. And then on the second one over here, I have a XLR to 2 line input, 2 unbalanced lines going into my actual guitar effects pedal. And then I've got that set to line because I'm using the guitar effects pedal. And for the mic, I have it in the back set to instrument. So here on my effects things, we can see, on the inputs, we can see I've got it set to merge. Well, you can't really see that very well. It's kind of bright, but that one I hit a couple times to hit it to merge. Whenever I'm doing another vocal, I'm just going to turn that one off, but not mute it because I still want to hear the vocal track that I record. So I'm not going to mute them. I'm just going to turn them off and on by this right up here, with that mode right there where it says off. You can hit it once to go to auto, I think it is, and then a second time to go to merge. And that's, I just always keep it in merge because I use this for live performance and I don't want to have to hit a track to activate the microphone. So I always keep it on merge. But no big deal. And then I've set it to input 1 for the mic, as you can see right there, and then input 1 for the mic here, which is why I have this one off, because if I had both of those on, it would be a little bit more volume that we don't want. So I turn that off on that, and then for the line 1, for the input 2, which is the guitar, I got them both turned off for now because we're not tracking any of those yet. And then under effects, what I usually do is I usually do a compressor for the majority of things. I don't do it necessarily for the guitar because I'm already doing a lot of that stuff in the effects pedal itself, so I didn't put in the compressor there. And for the live vocal, the way I like my setup, this is just my own personal preference, is I always start my chain with the maximizer, and I set the maximizer to master and light, and then I go ahead and turn the threshold up. In this case, I've got it to -16, which gives me a decent mix. Or decent level of volume, and I leave everything else the same. I don't touch anything else from there. And then for me, I like the freshen preset. I don't touch anything. I don't modify anything else from that. So on the Para EQ, I like the freshen. That's just my preference. And I also put a noise gate in here. I usually set it to -44, and then I crank the release up to about 88, and that's usually decent for me. So I don't go any presets on that one at all. For the vocal harmonizer, we'll get into that when we actually start doing the vocal harmonizing piece. For the other ones here where I have the compressor, I usually just set that one to light and tight and just leave it. I kind of like that set in there. And then for the drums, because they are an audio sample and not the real drums from the drum program system itself, I do actually have that one. No, actually, I don't have that one set, do I? So I do not have that actually that one set because I did like the actual mix I did. I pulled it from the iPad. I do all my drum stuff and I pull all my instrument stuff from the iPad, and then I put it in here. So actually that one I didn't do anything with. And the bass I didn't do anything with either because it's already mixed or pretty well, EQ'd well in the plugin itself. For the guitar, I do actually set this one to light smiley to kind of get a little bit of that right here on the cutoff right there. So I do have that set just a little bit. And I always like to take the high mid, this is just my preference, and set it to 750. And that makes it, to me, sound better from the Boss 100 that I'm using and the clean channel I'm using. So that's typically my guitar setup, and it's the same thing for the other one as well. Now, additionally, what I do have, you can hear on the microphone right now that I got a lot of reverb. So if I go here to the master, I'm going to hit master on the bottom right, and then what I usually do is I set a maximizer for a limiter, if you will, on this on the final input or output. I'm sorry, and I set it to master and light, and I always do at least -0.2 to give it just a slight bit of headroom. And then I like under the air reverb, and this is a send and return. If you're not familiar with a send and return, I'll explain it here in just a second. So this is what they call a return. Okay. And I've set the effect to Opera House. That's just the one I like, and I leave everything as is, keep the mix to 100. And then I also like the delay follow me, and I do like the 2/4 time. That's just my preference. I do bring the feedback down a bit to 15%. So basically what the send and return is doing here is when you look back at your effects chain that you have here, for example, on my vocal one, right? I only have one slot left for an insert effect. And if I wanted to put something else different in there, like maybe a vocal harmonizer in this case, then it doesn't leave any room for reverb or delay for insert effects. So what I do is I know the same reverb and the same delay is going to be used for all of it. So what I do is I make that return as the effect I like, and then right here, if you go to send, you're basically saying, by turning one of these knobs, you're saying, I want this amount of the reverb. I want this amount of the delay. For example, I'm on the live vocal one here. This top one is that first return, which was the reverb. The second one is the delay. Now, I don't really have much delay, so if I take this off here, okay, no delay. If I crank it up, you can hear right there, there's the delay. So it's basically telling you with the send, you're saying how much of the signal do you want to be affected by the effect that you have turned on in the return. That's basically what it's saying. And I kind of dig the 20 for the reverb for this song because it's kind of got that reverb-y type of feel to it. So, and actually, you know what? I could probably crank that down just a little bit. Let's do 22. Not much. Anyways, that's the sender returns that are there. And again, I'll go over the harmonizer one when we get to that point. Okay. All right. So let's go back here to the arranger. So arranger, there we go. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to record a guitar part. So I'm going to make sure, go back again to the mixer. And just for making sure I don't do anything as far as like doubling my sound, I'm only going to turn one of them on. I'm going to hit it. Okay, so it's 3 times to get to merge. So I'm going to hit it 3 times to get to merge for the guitar 1, which is a little bit lesser volume guitar than guitar 2, which will have more. And plus, I think I put on the guitar 2, yeah, I put a little bit of delay. Now, what I do here typically on my guitar effects, so that I can get it for the effects and the reverb and the delay in the Akai Force, what I do is I set the GT100 guitar processor to dry stuff. I don't put any delay or reverb on my sound. So it's just a clean, sound is what I have. And then I affect it and give it reverb and delay in the Akai Force instead of on the GT100, okay? And some of the reason why is more for the stereo pan effects and kind of things like that. And I think it would be better. So let's go ahead and let me get my guitar. All right. Put my headphones on. Got my sweet Ibanez. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, I like it. All right, let me go ahead and put the strap on. Hold on. Don't have a lot of room to operate here. There we go. All right, so I got the guitar that I like. And then I figured to myself, well, let's do a playthrough here just to make sure it sounds all right. So I'm going to go back. What I did is I hit the menu button, and I'm going back to arrange. And because I did a little bit of play before it, in order to hear it back again, I have to go back and hit back to arrange. And that will allow me to play it from the beginning. And because I don't have the loop set on, then it's not going to go ahead and do any type of section only. It's going to do it right from the beginning every single time. So I just want to kind of work out kind of what I want to do here. So let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. And I'm gonna check my mix to make sure the volume's not too crazy loud here. All right, I think that's gonna sound pretty good. So what I'm hearing actually is some slight different things with the bass that I'm doing. So what I may do is start recording the guitar parts with the bass and then show you how you can copy it back as well. Well, actually, no, we won't do that. We'll do it right straight from the beginning. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and record the guitar piece of it. And to do that, don't worry about where the playhead's currently at, okay? Because it's actually, you know, if I wanted to, I can slide it back and forth if I want, but it's going to automatically go back to that anyways, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hold record to arrangement, and I've got my metronome set to do the click, but not click during the recording, just click to record, okay? So I've set it to record to arranger, and it's now ready to go. I'm just going to hit play, and then when it comes in, I'll start playing the guitar. And by the way, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, this is important. I actually want to make sure I've record armed the right track, which I don't think I did. Nope, I didn't. So what I'm doing is I hit record arm on the bottom, and my guitar 1 is track 4. So I had it actually on the record for the vocal, so that wasn't going to be nice. So I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's see what we got. So what I didn't do there is I did not set a loop point, which I will do for the remaining ones. Okay. Let's see here. What's the best way to do this? All right. Well, first I want to hear it back and see what it sounds like. So let's go back to arrange. All right. Sounds pretty good. All right, once you're happy with what you have, what we're going to do now is not have to recreate the wheel. We're going to duplicate and copy this track across multiple ones. So basically the way you do that is if you look at your playhead, and I figured this one out the other day, I don't know if there's a different way to do this, but if you look at your playhead and go all the way back, you'll note the time 1, 1, okay? So keep note of that time. That's the beginning of your clip. And then if you scroll all the way to the end of what your clip is, which is there. So 9, 1 looks to be the end of the clip, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold in and long press on the track that you wanna copy. So in this case, long press on the track. And what you wanna do is you wanna copy events, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and copy events. It's gonna say, well, which section, which bars do you want to copy? So I don't know if you can see that very well on screen, but what I'm doing is I'm scrolling it back to 1, 1. And then I want it to go copy all the way to, what did we say? It was 9, 1. Okay, so I want to go back to 9, 1, which is right there. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to copy the selected event. And I selected it because it's highlighted in blue right there. That's the one I've selected. So that's the one that is currently selected. Also right here, I don't want the drums. I want it to copy, if you double click on it, I want it to do guitar 1, okay? And where I want that to copy that section from 1, 1 to 9, 1 is I want you to drop it right there at 9, 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit 9, 1. Okay, hit merge. I believe this will work. It didn't work, so let's try it again. This time let's specifically select. There we go. So what I did there is I hit this up arrow and I specifically selected it with that arrow. I don't know if that's what's needed or not. So let's see, let's try it again. Copy events. 1 and 9. Let's try it. I'm going to hit merge. It seems to be doing it up top there, doesn't it? Let me undo. Yeah, for some reason it's copying it up there. Trying to figure what I did. Oh, you know what? I didn't switch it back to drum again. So let's try this again. Okay, make sure that is selected. Copy events, yeah. So it automatically jumps back to the drums. That's why I did that. All right, copy only selected events. Let's try this again. 1 and 9. Set to 9. Okay, hit merge. Boom. Okay, that's how we do it. I believe that's correct. Let's verify by playing. Seems to work. Good deal, good deal. So yeah, let's try then doing that again. Let's do select. So apparently that's what you have to do. I didn't realize it. I thought if you just selected the track, you could do it. I guess we're learning as we go. So make sure that you bring this little line thing up here and actually select the clip that you are wanting to copy. All right, so the next one that we want to pop it into would be right there, 17. So is that 17.1? Yes. Okay, 17.1 is where I want to copy this bad boy. So I'm going to go ahead and copy events. And again, it was, what was it, 1 and 9. And we wanted to do 17, right? And make sure we select, because it seems to always default back to drums. It does keep the copy only selected events. That's interesting. All right, there's our third one. And when we do it a couple more times here, so let's move our playhead to find out where the next one's going to be at, which will be right 25. So again, I'm going to select first one. One and 9, and we're going to put this at 25. Did it do it? Oh man, it did the drums again. I got to remember to keep switching that. That's ridiculous. That's going to drive me nuts. Come on, Akai. Keep it on the same one, bro. All right, 1 and 9. 25, yes, and guitar 1. Excellent. All right, so we have a intro, and then maybe a guitar solo there, a verse, and then a chorus. So I think that's good to work with. And then maybe we'll do another guitar solo here. Actually, no, we probably won't. We'll keep the video down to a minimum. So I think that's good to work with that we have there. All right, so let's let's go back to the mixer. And what I want to do is do a little solo piece. So what I'm going to do is go back to the mixer and do the input output. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one unmuted so I can hear the guitar behind it, but I want to turn off that this is the one that's live, and I want to switch it to this one instead, which actually has a slight bit of delay and it's a little bit louder, so I can do a little lead. So yeah, let's work with that. So now let's go back here to the arranger, and I want to play a little bit just so I can kind of get an idea of what I want to do here. So, yeah, let's screw around with that here. So what we're going to do now is we have to move the record arm to that track, okay, so that we're recording that. So the reason I'm doing this and not doing it on, obviously, on this one is because, as I mentioned, you can't do an overdub of audio tracks, which is why it's important when you're making or planning your song, try to keep as much real instrumentation, such as MIDI, like plugins, drum programs, things like that, as much as you can, so that you can reserve at least 4 audio tracks, one for a live vocal, one for a harmony vocal, one for a rhythm guitar, and one for a lead guitar, because you want to do different ones. Because if I started recording right now the lead over this first, if I did it on this one, it would actually erase what's there, and we don't want to do that. We want to play and record separately on this one, okay? So we're good to go. What we're going to do now is we're going to set a loop. I'm going to hit loop, and I'm going to drag this bad boy back here. And what we want to do is we want to do a little solo, probably around where the bass comes in. So what I like to do is I like to kind of leave myself a little bit of room. Whoa. I like to leave myself a little bit of room right there. So usually like halfway from the last bar into wherever I'm going to be soloing. Now I'm leaving myself an extra lot of room, which I don't really need. Let me trim that back a little bit. You can only, if you just wanted to, you can just have just the one section that you want to do the solo in. But I want to do the solo right there on that second section, okay, where the bass comes in. So what I'm doing is I'm starting the record a little bit before it. Obviously, I'm not going to make any noise until that comes. And then once it comes to the actual bass coming in, then I'm going to start playing, okay? So again, we want to hold record and do 2 arrangements, okay? Make sure the track is armed that we want to do, which it is. You can see right there. And I think we're ready to rock and roll. And what it's going to do is it's going to play from where it's at, from where the loop point, the very start of the loop point is, okay? So let's go ahead. I messed that up. That's my fault. I'm just going to hit undo, so it's ready to go back again. And that's what's awesome about doing it this way, is that you can get the best take. I want to make sure I get... Yeah. I'm going to come up with something a little bit different, but I want to make sure it was in time. So let me do it again. Sorry about that. All right, I think that one came out all right. Now, normally I would probably spend a lot of time trying to get it down perfect, but for the sake of the video, I don't want to be here all day doing it. So let's go ahead and listen and see what that sounded like. Right on. Let's check the mixer. So I like that. We can work with that. Excellent. All right, so the guitar part's pretty much done, just for this video. But normally I would obviously do it throughout the whole song and then probably spend hours trying to get the perfect solo down, that kind of thing. But for the purpose of the video, this is just to teach the arranger part. All right, let me take my headset off. Hold on. All right, next important thing, always save in case things crash. So we're going to say, I'm just going to give it a 2. Save. Always do you save. You never know when things are going to crash and lose all the good stuff that you've done. All right, let's go ahead and do a vocal now. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the loop point just slightly before the solo is done, because I'm going to sing a verse in this section right there, okay? So what we're going to do is, I think we're good on the volume of the microphone. Everything's good there. I'm going to go ahead and hit back to arrange. By the way, don't forget, you're going to have to always hit this to actually hear while you're recording, because sometimes I didn't realize this at the beginning. I'd go and hit record, hold record into arrangement, and I wouldn't hear any music. It's because if that is lit up, and it looks like it's lit up on your screen right now, on the video, but it's not actually. It's grayed out because I hit it. But if it's lit up for you, always hit that to go back, because you won't be able to hear anything play back while you record unless you do. Okay. All right. So I've done that, and what we're going to do is on live vocal 1, which will be this one here, which will be track 3. We're now going to go ahead and do a recording of that in this section right there. And again, I just set the playhead a little bit before it so I can kind of get myself ready for when it comes in. I'll back off on the mic, let the noise gate take control so it don't hear extraneous noise, and then come in for a live vocal. Okay, hold record to arrangement, and I think we're pretty good to go. Let's do it. Well, Mary wore 3 links of chain. On every link was Jesus' name. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. All right, let's go back to arranger, hear what that sounds like. Well, Mary wore 3 links of chain. On every link was Jesus' name. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. All right, I like it. A little pitchy there, but in parts, but it's all good for the purpose of the video. All right, so then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a vocal harmony for the chorus. So again, I'm setting the playback to be slightly before. Actually, let me do just a slight bit more. Let's see. Give me a good amount right there. And what we're going to do is go back to the mixer and go back to the input-output. I'm not going to mute that track because I want to hear that coming in, but I am going to turn. Oops, sorry about that. Forgot I was speaking on the microphone here. Let me turn the vocal harmonizer off first before I switch over to that mic. So now I'm going to switch over to that other mic and cut myself off of this one and turn myself on to this one over here. All right, there we go. So you can hear it's the same type of delay, same type of effects. Actually, no, it's not. There we go. Drop it down a couple. And let's go to look at the vocal effects. So the same chain I have, which is the maximizer, the para EQ, and the noise gate, but I've added in a vocal harmonizer. Now I happen to like this one here being Lovely. Lovely is a nice one here. It's going to have, actually Lovely by itself I think is just 1 and 3, but I added the 4th because I kind of like the way that sounds. And I'll show you what that sounds like in a second when I turn it on. And I'm going to keep it in this key that the song is in so that it does just a slight bit of vocal correction if needed. And I'm going to try to sing within the key. It is the morning time for me, so I have morning voice, so it's probably not going to be that great. But I'm going to be G minor for my scale. And if you take a look here under the settings, you'll notice there's a mode that you can set of either the scale, chroma, or fixed. In this case, I want to make sure all of them are set to scale, which I think is it by default if you pick Lovely. I don't know if it's by default just normally. But anyways, so I'm going to turn this on. You can hear, it's got a little robotic sound there. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. And if I didn't want that much, I can just turn that. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. And you can see there I've set the mid because that's kind of where the range of my vocal is for this particular one here. So I didn't really touch anything else because I'm not really entirely sure what all the rest of them do, to be honest. I just really like this setting here. And like I said, you can do different ones, different harmony types. Like you can do this. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. And it kind of does the pitch correction for me a little bit because I don't have the music playing behind me, so I may not exactly be on G minor scale, but once it starts playing, it'll be a little bit easier for me to stick with it. But I'm going to go ahead and keep the 1, the 3, was it this one? Let me see. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Yeah, I like that. Oh, Mary, that's too much. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Yeah, very good. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with that, and we're going to record a chorus in there and see what it sounds like. So back to the arranger. And I forgot I need to track. There we go. I need to arm that track. Don't forget to arm the right track. That's important. All right. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Nice. I think there was a little pitchy on that, so I'm just going to do that one more time. Undo. We'll record. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary. All right. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary. Oh, this morning voice. I keep cracking. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. All right, that'll work. That'll do for now. All right. So that, I think, sounded pretty good. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn this vocal harmony back on because I want to play it back and listen to it, and I want to hear the harmony. So I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to go back to my other vocal microphone for it. All right, there we go. All right, so I want to hear how it sounds because, again, I want to keep that vocal harmony on there. And then what's cool about it is if you listen to it later and you want to modify the harmony, you can. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's go back here to the arranger. I'm going to go back, hit back to arrange so I can hear it back. Pharaoh's army got drowned. And I'm going to go to the mixer. Oh, Mary, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Pharaoh's so you can turn it on and off. Drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. There's that one little pitchy part, but no big deal. But anyways, you can see how you can modify all of this stuff, even the reverb stuff. If you didn't like the reverb originally and it was too heavy, you can modify it, right? So that's what's awesome about doing this stuff here in this arranger. It's a full-blown recording studio. I'm just like blown away how complete this freaking thing is, man. This is unreal. So that is a full entire deal. And again, like I did the vocal, and we can do the same exact thing. Now, here's an interesting thing. Let's say, for instance, so if we look here at this at the vocal, you notice here all this section right here, which is nothing. I don't have to have that at all when I copy it to another one. I can just say I want to copy from where is that? Right there, 25, and it ends at 33. So 25 and 33. So again, what we'll do is, let's say I want to do that chorus twice. So we'll drop it right on after it. So I'll say copy events. And again, I want to make sure, oops, you know what I forgot to do, what screwed me up the last time? You have to select it. We now know that. So I'm going to make sure I select that clip there. Okay. And then I'm going to hold in, press, and do copy events. And I want to make sure I set it to copy only selected events. And shoot, I just forgot where I was at. So 33. Let's see, was it 25? Okay, 25 and 33, right? Yep. 25 and 33. All right, so copy events. And we will do 25 to 33. And I wanted to pop it in right there, and I want to make sure I switch it from drums to live vocal 2, which is the one I just recorded. Okay, hit merge, boom. So now it didn't have to have any of that extra nonsense at the beginning of it, so should be all good. Let's take a listen and see if it's seamless. Hopefully it's not cutting one of the other ones off. Let's do it. Pharaoh's army got drowned. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Oh, Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh, Mary. don't you. All right, so we did hear that it did not cut that out of the off, which is good. So what we can do also is, I'm going to take this loop off. Actually, I'll put it back on. What we can do here is we can add some different dynamics. Let's say, for instance, to end the song, I only wanted the bass, okay? I'm going to extend the loop here, and let me move this one in just a tiny bit. So what I'm going to do here is the drum part, which is right there. I'm going to go ahead and hit the up arrow. And the section that we're saying is this one right here. Let's say I wanted to go ahead and just have the bass and the harmony vocal to end it. Let's just pretend that's what we're doing, okay? I've selected the track that I want, okay? And I want to hit the select button, or I'm sorry, the erase button. And I'm going to erase that one, okay? So now it should just be the bass and the vocal. That's what we're hoping. So let's go back and hear if that sounds. Rounded, oh Mary, don't you weep. Oh Mary, don't you weep no more. Yeah. Oh Mary, don't you weep no more. Pharaoh's army got you rounded. Oh. And then what we can do as well is we can cut out a little bit of the bass by editing that as well. Now there's different edit things you can do as well if you edit here, where you can trim and transpose and erase different things. But you can also do it, like I said, by hitting the track that you want to mess with, in this case being the MIDI part, and then hit this up arrow like this, okay? And for me, I'm going to zoom in on this section here because that's what I want right there. So let's say that to end that phrase, I wanted to get rid of the bass in that part. So I'm going to hit my eraser and erase that section there. There we go. I think that is all of the bass. So all I'm doing is just cutting out the bass and just having the vocals at the very, very end of it there. All right. Let's see what that sounds like. Rounded, oh Mary, don't you weep. Oh Mary, don't you weep no more. Oh Mary, don't you weep no more. Pharaoh's army got you rounded. Oh Mary, don't you weep. Right on. Digging it. And then from there, just note where it ends. And like I said, you can just remove all the rest of the events and keep it at that. Obviously, you want a full song, but this is just for demonstration of this video purposes here. And after you're happy with everything and you've mixed everything volume-wise, then you can go to Save. And then you can go right here where it says Audio Mixdown. And then from there, you'll set the whatever the end bar is. In my case, it's just, we'll say 41, right? So I would do Save, Audio Mixdown, and I would change that to 41. And then from there, I'm not going to save it because I'm going to work with it a little bit more. But so you would set it to wherever you want it to end. And here, it's always good to kind of have a buffer at the end where there's kind of a little bit of an empty space, so there's an audio tail. I can set it however many seconds I want, and that's all good there. And then here you can see that you can pop them out as separate tracks as well, so for stems and stuff if you want to put it somewhere else. And then the bit rates and the wave format and all that jazz, and then you export, and that's it. You saved it wherever you want, and then pop that bad boy out to your computer and upload it, for goodness. All right. So I think that covers all of that. Sorry for some of the pitchiness. It is morning time for me, so vocals ain't totally on point, but you get the picture of how we do this, and it's good that we work through some of these different things that we didn't realize that was doing that. I don't know why that's getting all blurry for a second there, but some of the different caveats, again, is the back to arrange. Obviously, for the copy events, we got to make sure it defaults back to drum automatically, so make sure you got the right track that you want to copy it to. Those sort of things are always very important. And also very important is to hold record and make sure that you do record to arrangement for all of the different tracks, or else it won't do it. Okay? All right, I think that will do it for today. Maybe I'll do a recording of this and upload it to my site and see what we do. Until next time, don't forget to get in the loop, Acidicloop. Peace out, players.